Hey guys, and welcome to the wind tunnel here at Volvo Cars in Sweden, in Gothenburg, and the Volvo EX90 doing some wind tunnel testing. We're gonna do a tour of the factory. Yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Almost half of Volvo's 43,000 employees work in Sweden, and of those about 6,500 work at the plant in Torslanda outside of Gothenburg. I was invited to a 2-day Volvo event to see the brand new World of Volvo Experience Center in the middle of Gothenburg and to tour the factory. We got to see and film some very exciting stuff. Everything from the battery lab to their very unique wind tunnel, which was actually used for Formula 1 testing in the mid-2000s. But some parts were kept very secretive and we were not allowed to film. In this video, I will share my experience with Volvo over these 2 days. On July 15th, we are doing a giveaway to celebrate 50,000 subscribers here on the channel, in collaboration with Zaptec and then partnering up with Polestar as Polestar's recommended home charger. We are giving away 2 Zaptec GO home chargers. To enter, simply subscribe to this channel and comment down below, "I want a Zaptec GO home charger." Thanks Zaptec for sponsoring this video.
Hey guys, and welcome to World of Volvo, a brand new experience center here in Gothenburg, Sweden. And here we have the very first, the 1927, the model year 27 Volvo ÖV4 or OV4. And for the first time, I'm gonna open it. I don't know if that was correct, but yeah, this is quite an insane thing. I've never sat, there's not a lot of, yeah, this is not built for tall Swedes. There's not a lot of room. This is really interesting. If you come closer, it has is that a throttle? And that's a brake? Yeah, and then there's a gear selector here. This is pretty insane. This is an open car, which was Volvo's very first vehicle back in 1927, almost 100 years ago. Yeah, insane. So this is pretty cool, guys. This is a crash-tested Volvo EX90 that they have displayed here at the Experience Center. And it has its side airbags deployed. You can see that there's a little bit flex in that rear tailgate. That is really interesting. So the side airbags deployed, and of course the front airbags are also deployed. This is really cool. You can see the movement. Look how little that hood has moved. That is so interesting. I mean, this has even better, after being crashed, it has better, panel gaps than a Tesla. That is pretty insane. So this brand new experience center called World of Volvo is very close to the Liseberg amusement park here in Gothenburg, Sweden. And it is a brand new spectacular building. I'm just going to show you guys. I'm a kind of a nerd for architecture. Look at these wood beams. This is pretty insane, this place here. This is nothing compared to the Entrants. So we have a lot of old Volvos here. This, I'm not the best Volvo connoisseur. This is a PV36. I don't know what this is. I've never even heard of it. But it does look really cool. It looks to be 1930s, I was gonna say, 1935 to 1938, so right before the Second World War. And then we have the PV445, which is a classic. This is, 1953 to 1960. This was, the typical family vehicle in Norway, Sweden, in Scandinavia, in the Nordics. And then right over here we have a Volvo Amazon, again a very classic and iconic Volvo. What's really cool is that these old Volvos are so much smaller in reality than you imagine them being. I mean, in the real world they're so small. I mean, this would be a tiny car, in 2024. Oh, this is locked, but I think we're going to be able to take a look at this over here, either this 140 or this 240 over here. Fun fact, guys, the Volvo 240 was the first car I ever crashed. Back in high school or videregående, a friend of mine had one of these, and it was winter, and I was going to try to drift for the very first time. I was 18 years old, and I went into a very slow drift, right side, and I dented the rear right door on my friend's Volvo 240. That was not an estate like this one, but this is such a beautiful 240 Super in this dark green color. And what's so special about this, and the reason it is here at World of Volvo, is because if you come closer, I'm going to show you guys. And also the door, the sound of that is such a satisfying sound. I just went to the launch of the electric G-Wagon, and this sounds just as nice, even better. But look at this, guys. This has a beautiful black leather interior, and this car has done 97 kilometers. This is a brand new, as we'd call it in the watch world, NOS, new old stock. This is a brand new Volvo 240 estate with 97 kilometers on the clock and beautiful leather seats. It just feels new. It smells new. It's such an insane thing, this car here. So guys, come to World of Volvo here in Gothenburg if you want to experience something special, because this is special. I mean, there are so few on the road, and this, I mean, only 97 kilometers is pretty insane.
Day 2, we were shuttled to the Volvo factory in Torslanda, and the tour started at Volvo's own in-house battery lab. This lab has been built in 3 phases, with the 3rd phase only being a month old and costing a whopping 250 million Swedish kroners. In the battery lab, Volvo not only tests individual battery cells, but also packs as a whole. They do stress testing, durability testing, and also development of new battery packs. For me, this was actually the most exciting part of the whole event, because this is directly related to the content I make here on this channel. Their testing equipment can test way beyond the capabilities of modern battery tech, with testing speeds up to 1500 kilowatts. If the battery technology would have allowed it, it could charge the Volvo's EX90's 107 kilowatt hours of usable capacity from 10 to 80% in a blistering 3 minutes. I don't think we're gonna get there anytime soon, but it is nice to see that Volvo's battery lab is indeed extremely future-proof.
Okay, so this is pretty cool, guys. We're in the wind testing lab, and they have this model that they showed us. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. This glass model, and then now we're gonna step into the actual lab to check out the actual wind tunnel. Okay, so this is pretty insane. This lab was built in 1986 and it was upgraded again in 2008. And actually, at the time, Volvo was owned by Ford, and they owned Jaguar, and Jaguar was in Formula One. So this wind tunnel here was actually used for development of F1 cars back in the late 2000s. That's pretty crazy. Can I ask you, because you talked about when we entered the room that it's important that the car is here as early in development as possible, right? Yes. This car's already on the production line in Charleston. So what are you exactly doing to this? Are you testing concepts that the engineers have?
This is just temporary. Is just the production. Mechanical resistance of car. So like you don't use any wind temporary. You just like you slipping a car through a valley down. How much resistance do you get? How long do you get without any force?
Okay, so like you're testing like the efficiency of like the wheel bearings and the whole system and rolling resistance and.
Because in rolling resistance you have to have like you go from 140 to 0.
Yeah.
It's the same all the way. But in aerodynamics you have the slower you get. So you get like a 140 goes fast, but the last 20 goes very slow.
Yeah.
But this is more connected to how is the bearings and how is the mechanical resistance of the car.
Okay, interesting.
And that's a standard because you have to certify the car which number to get the correct range number. You can't just say we have this and this. You have to show every market, Korea, US, Brazil.
So you also have a hand in the WLTP test figures here. Oh, interesting.
The official numbers of every car, every model. So if you do a change in a car, you change the wheel type, you have to certify it again.
Because I see this is on Polestar 3 wheels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the thing that is like you change every wheel.
Yeah.
And you have to get the number. What's the effect of every wheel? And even if you do like an upgrade for a model year, you do like we got a new wheel on the car. You have to certify it. You just can't say it's the same range number. You have to define what's the correct number. And this
Interesting.
This wind tunnel is certified for wind tunnel. And that's the only way to do the mechanical and the aerodynamics numbers is in this wind tunnel.
But that.
This is for the 30 seconds because you have been inside. As soon as you open the door, it's going to be a safety.
We're now inside the wind tunnel here at the Volvo factory in Gothenburg, Sweden, and the wind is currently at 60 kilometers an hour. And I don't know if anybody can. Look at this! This is insane! Holy crap, it's only 60 kilometers an hour! That is fast enough! We're currently inside the wind tunnel here where they have this Volvo EX90. Beautiful sand dune with some Polestar 3 wheels, 22-inch wheels. And they're running the tunnel here at 60 kilometers an hour. Pretty crazy, pretty windy. And take a look at this, guys. You can see how the air flows over the brand new Volvo EX90 and how slippery this new design is. This is pretty crazy, pretty insane. Let's see if we can get a closer look here. And now they are winding down the speed of the fan. This is an insane facility here at Volvo Cars in Gothenburg in Sweden.
Driving simulator apart in terms of Volvo at least. This is the only motion-based platform simulator that we have, so where you actually have forces coming into your body, the cockpit moves around. So it makes it quite a bit more complex than a stationary simulator, something you would have at home or at your desk. So the motion system is from a supplier called GO, based in Italy. The experience in the car. We have measured an actual car and used that to replay back the sounds of the powertrain, the road noise, the wind noise. But again, for most cars that we develop here for the chassis, it's enough that it sounds like a car, hopefully sounds like a Volvo, but it's not so important that it's the exact specific one if the difference is not dramatic. So I can invite you into the control room, then we will all be able to have a bit of a better view, and then you're of course allowed to move in between.
Like most modern and any serious car manufacturer, Volvo has a very advanced driving simulator for development of vehicle dynamics and vehicle attributes. So this simulator allows Volvo engineers to test new concepts and new ideas with a very quick turnaround time. And then they can do the test in the real world and collect the data and then feed them back into the simulator. So the simulator, after many rounds of testing and testing cycles, becomes more and more accurate, which in turn makes the whole system more useful for further development. This was a very impressive rig that they showed us, where they could do tests on specific roads, specific tracks, and do testing in the dry, in the wet, and even on snow. After a few wonderful, exciting, and impressive days at both the World of Volvo in Gothenburg and also the factory in Torslanda, I'm just awe-inspired of these facilities, the people who work at these brands, the enthusiasm and love for cars that the employees at Volvo have. And this is also the reason why I think they make some of the very best products in the world. So I just want to give huge thanks to Volvo for taking me on this 2-day excursion to Gothenburg for these wonderful experiences. And if you guys want to check out the World of Volvo, it is open to the public. So if you're going to Gothenburg, I would highly recommend you guys to check it out